414, your name and where you're calling from?
Hey, my name's Greg. I'm calling from Wisconsin.
Hi, Greg from Wisconsin. How can I help you today?
I'd love a reading.
Okay. How did you hear about the show?
I heard you on I listened to Freedom Radio a lot. I heard you on a roundtable a while back, and I really am fascinated and appreciate the information that you share with us.
Oh, thank you very much. So you kind of understand how readings work, or have you heard me do readings before?
I listened to, I believe it was yesterday's show where you had 3 guys call in and for readings, and it was fascinating. I listened to the entire program. I couldn't stop listening. I actually listen to you when I go to bed at night in the archives, and stayed up way too late listening to the show because I just couldn't put it down.
Well, thanks a lot. So the way this works is you need to tell me what you did for your first 10 minutes of the day, compact it into 40 seconds, and be as detailed as possible when you get that point of where you rub your eyes and get out of bed. The more accurate you are with that, the more deeper I can get it right into your dream reading. So go ahead and do that out loud.
Well, I just got up. I've only been up for about 10 minutes when I dialed your number. Got up, did my daily routine. My dog, Rafa, sleeps with me, so I let him know that I was really looking forward to studying today with him and how much I appreciate him being in my life.
I've tuned into your energy already. You wear your energy on your cuff.
Okay.
The first thing that I sense from you is there's been a long journey that's come to an end. But on that journey, you broke your foot, and you had to mend it and stop this is the metaphorical. On the way, you stopped and broke your foot, and you had to meet a series of people. And those people were helping you find something. And that ultimately is about the vision quest that's in your heart now. There is a spirit bundle that's been laid upon your side where you sleep. The spirit bundle is by the spirits that come to visit you. Inside that bundle is a piece of corn seeds, like ancient corn seeds, like the brown seeds. And next to that are some beans that have been dried and some squash seeds. So it's saying that there is an ancient medicine gardener within you. There is also a piece of oak bark, and there is a piece of pine bark. So what this is represented is the person that was before you was connected to the ways of the plant shaman, the tree shaman, who would speak to the trees and understand their words. The very vision quest of your heart right now is to seek the nature of Mother Earth so you may understand her wisdom and her volume. But ultimately it's about standing with the trees and letting yourself sway in the natural ways of the wind. Right now the roots of you go deep, but they are not tapping upon the earth energies. They are only tapping upon the surface energies. You have not allowed your roots to go below the crust area into the deep heart of Earth Mother, into the lowest part of her body. That is ultimately the quest of your current vision, is to get deeper and deeper and deeper connected to that of the earth. So you understand the roots of your life, so you may give back to the whole of nature. But here, now, in the present, your very blood is not of that of the earth. You are literally representative of the Alcyon system of Pleiades. You came here to be a tree healer. And I say that specifically as trees are very, very rare in this galaxy. And Earth is a big producer of trees. In many previous lifetimes, you would come here and find trees and ask them if they wish to come to other planets. That is the type of magic or medicine that you brought when you were a foreigner to this world. After many trips here in a very long ago period, you decided to stay here. And as you stayed here, you got caught up into the trap of the incarnation grid and began to have your first year at the School of Hard Knocks of planet Earth. As the School of Hard Knocks got over and over each lifetime, you got a less and less and less connection to the earth until finally all that was left was the blood of the Pleiades person that was flowing through you and the original connection to the concept of the roots and givings of a tree and a forest. As I look deeper into your blood, I understand that at some point you were a part of the ocean, a type of creature that was there, and that is when you began to understand the very lifeblood of Earth. And that is the concept Earth is trying to help you understand in your current vision quest. Is to that the trees themselves, the very nectar that they bring within them so that they may have their spring buds and make their leaves, and the flowers may make plants may make their flowers. There is a true essence, and that essence is the true blood of Earth Mother. And that is what you should be connecting to in this current level of spring. There are little plants that are budding out of the ground. That is where you should go and sit next to them and feel their energy if they're budding out of the ground. So you too may take upon the spring energy, so you may send your roots deep down inside and get the very essence of this earth blood energy that's coming through you. Is this starting to make sense to you?
Yeah, definitely. I've always, trees have always been very important to me. I didn't know why, certainly to the depth of the level that you're speaking to. But the place that I live in, the windows that I look out for my place, it's just trees. Trees have always been really important to my quality of life, and water has as well. We've had a lot of both around where I live.
Okay. What I'm really sensing you is Earth Mother really wants you to deeply meditate next to the trees and the spring flowers, so that you learn to create that your root chakra acts like a deep root system, so it goes as deep as the tap roots as the tall trees. And that is something, a meditative practice you'll get by standing next to the trees and meditating or sitting next to them. And then to learn that process, you'll go and find plants that you'll sit next to, so you understand the shallow root system. So right now, it's really about you understanding the type of energetic roots that you have around you and what these teachers are trying to teach you. Because right now, every night you go to sleep, you're in a vision quest. Your higher spirit is looking for these teacher spirits who will come and knock on your physical door, so the physical you have is a physical experience. But right now, you aren't prepared for a physical experience because there's not enough of the Earth Mother blood sucked into the roots of your body. Right now, you're really draining your water energy to deal with the set of people that you've been dealing with for quite some time. I refer to these people as energy thieves. They're not vampires, but they are people that will disregard your sacred space and come in and couch surf in your sacred space and really disrespect you at times, even though they do repay you with love. You familiar who I'm talking with?
Yeah, I do. Definitely. I do, yeah. I feel like I'm fighting with the folks around me as opposed to, really getting along with them. It feels like it's a struggle on a daily basis. And I feel like my energy is being sapped from me in these interactions that I have, these sort of negative interactions that I have with the folks around me.
Okay. These particular people, just so you know, they're actually soul contracted to be in this area. Okay. They have very similar contracts to you, but they are nowhere near as awakened as you right now, and they've had much harder lives. The School of Hard Knocks has really sent them back a grade or two. And you're at this stage where I'll describe it like this. You've graduated high school, you're in the college, and you're in your second semester of your second year. So what you plan now for your fourth year graduation is vitally important to the very essence of you now. So this is the time where you determine the type of shaman you're going to be, the future shaman. This is where you lay your physical roots. This is where you lay your foundation of magical education. This is where you reach out to teachers in books and in spirit and ask them to come and instruct you from your heart. This is where you make ceremonial items that say, I am a man of spirit. I am a man of earth. I am here to be of service to earth. I am here to be of service to the trees. I am here to nurture all people. So that is your personal dedication to this graduation process, is to make the ceremonial tools, to know that you've graduated your high school and you're upon your second year and second semester. For this vision quest to be complete, you will need a piece of white pine. The white pine is that of the peacemaker. There is a peace that needs to be made in your soul with the previous incarnations that had to deal with war here. You are not here to deal with war this lifetime, though its concept will constantly come around you and nag you, because it's the common thread among people now is the change, is because we've only learned war for the last 200,000 years, and we must learn the ways of the trees and the plants again. And then once as people take that concept into their very heart and begin to share the very foundations of man, people like you will once again be tree medicine speakers and plant medicine speakers. And will be able to act as ambassadors to the tree spirit world or the plant spirit world, so that all sentience is given its honor in Earth Mother's energies. You understand what I'm saying?
I do. Yeah, I do. I feel like I just feel like I'm warring a lot with with the folks around me, but I also have the side of me that, really doesn't want to do that, wants to embrace, wants to be a peacemaker, but feels like I have to stand my ground. I have to stand up for myself, and that's where the conflicts come in. So it's hard. It's hard.
You're right, and this is your challenge of your second year and second semester. This is a 10-credit course. This is your only class this year. Okay? And this isn't a pass-fail class. This is for you to understand that you have to find the heart space to forgive yourself for those actions. The physical object of the white pine will be your ceremonial representation that you are taking off the bonnet of war. You are no longer wearing the war crown, and that you are putting on the crown of the flowers and the trees, so that your crown chakra is now aligned to the way the forest comes together. For every tree in the forest finds its own natural balance and finds its own spot in the sun, and the forest retains its balance because each tree is respected. So it's time that you respect your crown chakra and bring that peaceful ceremonial object into your soul, into your space, and you begin to empower it. And as you do that, the more people that come around to challenge your very soul, to challenge you at war, will be here, and then you will be able to use that new crown chakra energy to bring peace to yourself so that you know you do not need to respond to them in war. You can respond to them with the voice of the plants, the teachings of the trees. And if they are rejecting the teaching of the trees and the plants and only want war, you know they are not repaying you with that blood of Earth Mother. And that's how you'll begin to recognize the kindred spirits that you're looking for.
Okay. Great.
Okay. Do you have any other questions?
No, thank you so much. Fantastic insight. I appreciate it.
Well, I have a question for you. Have you had a spiritual experience, an awakening in the last year?
A spiritual experience or awakening, specifically in the last year, not that I can think of. I've pretty much, been on this path for a while. I don't remember anything specifically in the past 12 months or so that would.
What about previously?
And by spiritual experience, what do you mean?
You had a dream that really was profoundly intelligent to you. You had a creepy experience where something said there was a spiritual world out there.
Not, you know what, Andrew, not that I can think of. My dreams are the dreams that I remember when I get up, and you talk about brain time a lot, but my dreams are really pretty dull. I don't really remember, when I get up, I don't really remember. It's very rare that I'll have a dream that isn't mundane.
The reason I ask that, you have spirits that are around you, and they have been communicating with you. And I'm trying to really intuit this vision quest to search for the plant and animal medicine. And I understand that it's soul contracted for you to do it this lifetime. But there's really something here that you need to physically start paying attention to. Not only are they knocking on the doors and putting their fingers on the chalkboard to try to get your attention, there are times pounding on your door and say, "Wake up!" So you need to literally make an object that you wear around your heart to remind you to communicate to them.
Okay, so I need to make something?
Yeah, like a little pouch you can wear around your neck, a little string on it.
That's close to my heart. That lays close to my heart. Yeah. That's interesting. I've actually had a quartz stone that I found on one of my I used to like to backpack a lot, and I had whatever stones I would find, interesting stones I'd find on the trail when I was backpacking, I'd pick up and I still have with me in my house. And there's been a particular quartz stone that I've been that's right next to my bed. And when I'm feeling toxic from my interactions with the world, I actually put it to my heart and try to think detoxifying thoughts to get the bad feelings and toxicity out of my body.
All right. Instead of the term detoxing, replace that term with allowing Earth Mother's blood into you.
Okay.
You are a part of her blood. You're a part of her species, and that blood is love, and that is the concept you should be bringing to your heart. I also said you need to find a piece of white pine. And it may be difficult for you, There are other peace objects out there that you can do, but I would really recommend that you find a piece of white pine. And what you're going to do is you're going to understand that that piece of white pine is the thing that you will use to clear your crown chakra of the war energies. You'll rub your head with it. You'll keep it in the air around you to understand that literally it's interacting with the very energies of your crown. And then you're going to break off little pieces of it and put it in your pouch. And then you're going to put that piece of white pine somewhere where it won't rot and it'll stay well preserved. And then as you need more peace in your life, you'll break another piece off of it, another piece off of it, and offer it to the war spirits that are constantly coming around you. So if you know that somebody's really aggressive that's going to come over to your house, you put a piece of white pine out by the front door, a little piece. And that is to represent that you are the peacemaker here and you're not to be at war.
Okay. And so this pouch that I wear around my neck, should that have white pine in it?
When you find it, yes. You can start with crystals and other pieces of stuff that remind you to connect to the trees and the plants. Okay.
And is that crystal, that quartz stone that I mentioned a moment ago, is that still okay to?
Yeah, that's fine. But sit and meditate with it. You may want to allow it to sit in the sun. If you see little things popping up out of the ground, spring seedlings, put it next to it for a few hours so it gets that energy. Because that's truly what you need right now is the concept of how these plants come out of the ground every spring and grow their roots deeper and bring up that very life essence of Earth.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Call in again next week. Tell me how things are going.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
All right. The energy of the burden basket now comes. The burdens of life that we have. The very burdens that we give ourselves via soul contract, the very essence of the weight of our soul that prevents us to heal. So I'm asking everybody today is to empty your burden basket, to go out into the sun and raise your hands and be like the trees. Let your mind go up and let the sun feed you and let your crown chakra bloom like a flower and begin that process of bringing that energy into you and down into your feet, into the roots of like a plant. Because deep inside, you will ultimately understand the very burdens that you have that prevents you from letting the sunlight energy in and naturally recharging you. The way of the concrete jungle right now is preventing man from connecting to the sun in that method. But anybody can connect to the sun if they should choose to, because we were a sun-worshipping species in the very beginning. At that beginning time, it was the sun that brought Earth its message, its light, its wisdom, its love. And to know and understand that Earth has had many other suns in its solar system. And there are other suns that we could connect to, and they are our soul family.